This show is brought to you by Blue Apron. Go to blueapron.com and check out the week's menus and get your first 2 meals for free with free shipping. That's right, your first 2 meals are free and you get free shipping when you go to blueapron.com/Joey. You'll love how it feels and tastes to create incredible home-cooked meals with Blue Apron, so don't wait. That's blueapron.com/Joey, blueapron.com/Joey. Show is also brought to you by Club W. Right now, Club W is offering our listeners $20 off of your first order when you go to clubw.com/Joey and buy all of their great wines. And it gets even better. I know you hate paying for shipping, so Club W will actually pay for your shipping on orders of 4 bottles or more. So go to clubw.com/Joey right now to get $20 off of your first order with free shipping if you buy 4 bottles or more. And go to onnit.com and use code word CHURCH to save 10% on all of the great optimization products like Alpha Brain, New Mood, ShroomTech Immune, and ShroomTech Sport.
Oh, shit. Lee's about to see the devil. It's Wednesday, June 8th. It's a beautiful motherfucking day to be alive. Lee Syatt, Brody Stevens, Uncle Joey, Becky's in studio. Are you kidding me or what? The church of what's happening now, bitches. Little old Def Leppard for you from 80-fucking-3. People were smoking bazookas to this fucking song right here. I was one of them.
Yeah, old school Leopard.
I still remember waking up and the drummer got in a car accident and lost his arm. I still remember waking up to MTV. That was the story on MTV, like breaking story on MTV.
They lost his arm.
He lost his arm. I think it was January 1st, 1984 or 85.
In a car wreck.
In a car wreck in fucking...
Europe or somewhere.
Yeah, England.
But he came back.
Sure he came back. He's still out there, isn't he?
One-armed drummer.
The one-armed drummer. Fucking giving it hell. What's happening, Brody Stevens?
Enjoy it. Great to be here, Joey. I'm excited. I'm thankful. It's in the neighborhood. It's nice. Summer's coming out. I'm exercising. I'm happy. I'm very happy.
I'm happy that you're fucking happy. You understand me? When I saw you a few weeks ago, I could see the happiness glowing out of your fucking pores.
Well, it was witch hazel.
It was witch hazel. Lee Syatt, what's going on with you?
I'm feeling great. Having a good day. Did some kettlebells this morning. I did 200 swings this morning. I couldn't believe it. It was crazy. We did 10 swings for 20 minutes. And that was...
On the minute.
On the minute with 24 kilograms, which isn't super heavy, but...
24 kilograms is 48 pounds.
About 50. It's a little bit more.
That's not bad, Lee.
Oh, my God.
You're fucking doing it. Lee's making it happen.
Wow. That's a lot. It's form matters, correct? It's not about weight.
Well, that's what they say. They always say, like the guy said, like... Because I don't know, I get competitive with myself. So not every class, but I try to go up in weight. But he's the guy I go with is really big on. He wants it to be perfect form because if you're doing 3,000 with shitty form, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
So you try to get a number of swings in. It's a numbers game.
Well, no, it's a class. So he tells us we don't always do swings, but for today we did. 5 presses on each side and 5 squats, and we did that 4 times. And then from there, we went to swing. So every class is different. Yeah. So sometimes it's swing for 30 seconds and just see what you get. Usually it's every minute on the minute for 10 or 15 swings.
Yeah, these kettlebell workouts, you do them. It gets your heart rate up. This high-intensity training. And I did them today also, but I just don't want to get carried away. You start feeling good and you overdo it. That's been my problem, but that's why keeping my weights down to just the 25s and
You've
the 35s.
Been with kettlebells for a few years now. You've been a proponent of the kettlebell.
Well, they were fun to do, and it was good for once I can get that. You can get a great cardio workout and flexibility. So it was all for in lining you up. Kettlebells. Once you do them, you like them.
Now you've always been a proponent of the workout. When I first met you in Seattle, were you working out then?
No.
Okay.
I played baseball. So I was in college. I played baseball. We worked out, but I was also playing baseball. Then I went to Seattle, and I really wasn't doing much exercise. I don't know.
And your mood changes.
When you exercise?
When you exercise.
Oh, yeah, of course. Those endorphins, sweat, confidence, getting a good stretch in. So I mean, it definitely affects me. But sometimes I'm taking too much caffeine. That's my problem too. It's like, yeah,
You're a coffee dude?
2 or 3 cups a day. But I'll take a 5-hour energy. I need a kick sometimes to get me going, to get a workout in. But I'm not saying I have an addictive personality, but that could be my problem. But I do like working out. I like kettlebells because I feel like it's just
something. You do them outside in the sun.
Could do. I back in the day, I would. My old apartment, I'd go out in the alley.
I used to love going to North Hollywood Park. I have 2 kettlebells in the trunk, and I'll go out there. I got an 8-pound ball, and I'll stretch. I'll do some swings. I'll do some cleans. I'll do some sit-ups, and then I'll do a lap or 2, like just walk around. Just in the sun. You fucking get sore the next day, Jack. You're like, damn, I didn't even do nothing.
It's an underrated park, by the way, North Hollywood, and there's a little bit of an edge to it. I like it. I'll go there. I'll take a lap there. And the kettlebells, you just drag them, throw them around. My thing is I'm playing baseball also. I like throwing the baseball. So sometimes I can't overdo it when playing baseball because then my arm can be tender, my elbow. That's why form is so important on the kettlebells. But because I've been building up slowly and my pitching mechanics are better, I've been able to avoid injury. I'm wiser now. And I'm able to avoid injury. And I'm actually doing rehab exercises to strengthen the tendons around my elbow.
How do you sleep? Do you sleep
I've been sleeping great. I do urinate 5 nights a time. 5 nights a time.
5 times a night. All right, here's the clinker.
Yeah.
You ready?
Sure.
A doctor bumped into me and said, that's what's killing you, because that's what was killing me. What kills me is you got to fucking pee at night. And the older you get, Jesus Christ. So for about a year, my big thing was to stop at the Comedy Store and beat the clock and get a Starbucks venti, a fucking flat white at midnight. I could do a fucking venti at midnight.
Okay, yeah.
From the 30 years of blow, I broke that fucking. There ain't no caffeine, don't work on Papa.
Gotcha.
I could drink a whole thing of Starbucks and be in bed 30 minutes later.
I could do that, yeah.
So,
mind over matter.
But what that does to you is, because coffee is a diuretic, whatever the fuck it is, a
diuretic.
So you drink coffee at night and you're off and running. You're having nightmares about people peeing on you.
Yeah.
That's how many times you got to fucking pee. You have nightmares about people peeing on you.
Yeah.
So I had to cut that out. But here's the secret. They say over a certain age now, they really confuse you. They say they want you to take an aspirin at night before you go to bed with a glass of water. And I'm sitting there going, I drink a glass of water at night, I'm back to square zero. The sleep apnea, everything goes out the window. Because what happens with me, my sleep pattern is basic. Let's say I go to bed at 11 o'clock. I'll sleep solid till fucking 4. That's 6 hours. That's 5 hours, right? 5 hours, okay. At the 5 or 6 hour mark, I gotta pee. So as I'm walking to the bathroom, I'm praying to God that this isn't a long fucking pee. If it's longer than a minute and a half, I'm done.
Because you pee for a minute and a half?
Whatever the fuck. You're standing there, you're half asleep. I don't know if it's a minute, an hour. I don't know what's draining out of my fat man body. God. So when I walk back, what happens to me is if I have a thought lingering that's been bothering me, and I let that thought get into my mind on the walk back to the bed while I put my sleep apnea mask on, it grows in my head like a fucking weed, and I gotta get up.
Really?
So I got sick and tired of that challenging my sleep. So I was talking to this dude, and he goes, what you do is when you're a comedian, you work on your legs. He goes, you do 5 spots in New York. When you get home, believe it or not, your legs have fluid in them. So when you go home at night, the first thing I do when I go home is I wash my hands. You're shaking all these fucking monkeys' hands.
Right.
You wash your hands, and then I get water, like a little bit, like 8 ounces, and I sit in the living room and I watch TV and unwind. I make notes about my set. I call Lee. I return a call that I know somebody was up late. But the whole time, my legs are elevated.
Okay.
And you'll see that in that half-hour period that you're cooling down, you'll start peeing. Because your legs are elevated. So all that, that's what happens. When you go to bed at night, your legs are elevated. So now all that water that you had in your legs, that your fluid that you were retaining, you got to pee it out.
I think some of it's also medication. You're on a certain I noticed when I
I got blood pressure medication.
Yeah,
so
that's going to do it to you.
The fuck out all too.
I'm just used to I'm just conditioned now to getting up and going to pee 4 times a night, and I go right back to sleep. By the way, I'm able to.
I'm going to cut 3 of those peas. If I could cut 3 of those fucking peas out.
Give me a jug. I used to pee in a jug.
Done. What you're going to do is you're going to put your feet up, go to fucking, on the way home, go to Target, and go to the middle of Target and look up. They got those little feet posters.
Squatty potty.
It's $14.99. And you could take it off and hide your notebook in there, wet your pen, your pot pipe, your lighter, your weed, and put the cover over it and sit over it like a fucking zombie. So that's what I do. My shit's all hidden in there. I got a notebook to write jokes in the living room because I can't go in the bedroom because my wife is sleeping.
Right.
So I put my feet up and I put a pillow up to elevate it over my fucking heart. And all that moisture in your fucking feet and your legs goes to your nutsack. And right before you go to bed, you drain your fucking vein.
They have beds for that, don't they? Like the inclined beds?
Inclined beds, but that means you're going to have to get up in the middle of the fucking night, Brody Stevens. I'm trying to save you.
That's what I did the jug for. And that's not healthy. I used to pee in a jug and started that in New York City. You can't pee in a fucking jug. That's disgusting. That's like me shitting out the fucking window.
I used to do that.
What, pee in a jug?
Not in jugs, in like bottles or cans. If I didn't want to get up, hell yeah.
That's disgusting.
But I was in a weekly hotel. I was sharing a weekly hotel. With Lahai was there, and it was in New York City. That's where I got in the habit of peeing into a jug, because you had to share. You had to walk down the hallway to use the restroom and go, you know what? I'm going to avoid the middleman. Give me that jug. Boom. Started peeing.
You've been one of those hotels where the whole floor uses the one bathroom.
Well, I did that for the
$60 a week, one of those things.
Yeah,
Nothing wrong with that.
When I first moved to New York City, yeah, I stayed there for about, I don't know, a couple months while I was looking for an apartment, and I ended up finding a studio out in Brooklyn. Out off the L train in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. So you told me to go to New York. You were the one who said, Brody, go to New York. You told me that in Seattle. They'll get you. Go to Surf Reality. Go downtown. Just be you. That alternative stuff or whatever you want to call it.
It's crazy how you just gave me a memory how when I lived in San Francisco, I was a full-time burglar. So I would live in one of those hotels where people took the shower in the hallway. So I would rob them when they were in the shower. I'd wait for them to go in the shower, and then the word got out that people getting robbed when they were in the shower. People were taking their belongings in the shower with them. It was like a fucking luggage thing they were taking.
But I would lock it. Aha.
What? Your apartment?
You got it.
Yeah, it didn't matter. I had a security key.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh,
who the fuck you think you're dealing with? Some novice? I'm going to go in there. You open the door? That's a no-brainer. That's stupid shit.
Oh, you had a key?
I had keys, plural.
Oh, man.
I knew ways. What I would do, I would practice on my own door. Because all the doors were the same. So I would just practice on my own door. So when I lived in
how do you practice if you have a key?
Because you practice. You make believe you're fucking locked out. You never do that? Make believe you're locked out?
No, I don't ever.
That's how you find out if your house is burglar proof.
Oh, mine is. I've broken into my apartment here twice because I locked my keys inside, and I have that window. I still have to get that bar from my window, but I've broken into my apartment twice and been like no one says anything.
On the second floor?
Third floor, yeah.
You've climbed through the fucking things like Spider-Man?
No, because there's a window onto the onto the walkway, so I just pop it open and I slide through. But no, I don't do it just to see. I mean, I guess that would be a good idea.
Okay, so let's say you live in an apartment complex. When I lived in Snowmass in '83, I lived in an apartment complex.
Okay.
And that complex is A to K. So that's A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. Okay. 11 fucking buildings. So all the doors were the same. You follow me? So I would practice on my door how long it would take me to break into a place, like on the timer. Who the fuck do you think you're dealing with? Some fucking asshole here? When I went deep, I went deep. So let's say your door has the railing there with the fucking thing. I practice how to get a screwdriver, pop it in, pop out that thing so I could sit my fucking... I used to get saws, those saw blades, and I would pick your fucking door.
And what happened when your neighbors would walk by?
Nobody would walk by. I was shoveling snow. They thought I was down there shoveling snow.
Well, were you doing this for fun? Was this a hobby? When
I was burglarizing?
Yes.
I was doing drug dealers. I would know who the drug dealers were. Even in Snowmass, they would go skiing.
Right.
And as soon as they got on that hill, they can't take that pound of coke with them.
So you were going after the drug dealer?
All the drug dealers in that neighborhood.
It's like a Pied Piper thing.
Like a Pied Piper, but for myself. I ain't giving nothing to nobody. You
so you weren't robbing from like regular
dealers.
People?
Yeah,
These
I
were
was
bad
robbing
guys.
regular people.
Oh, great.
When I lived in the hotel, they were kind of tourists. I would get traveler's checks and bring them down to Japantown, shit like that.
Right, yeah, of course, tourists, no problem.
Right.
But
they get insurance on traveler's checks.
Yeah, don't leave home without them.
Don't leave home without them. So I never felt guilty about traveler's checks.
So yeah, drug deal, that's good. That's good, breaking in there. You get a rush over that, right?
Oh, my God. The other night I was watching a movie with Ed Norton and Robert De Niro about stealing a fucking wand It's one of the worst movies of all time in Montreal with Angela Bassett and Marlon Brando. I got caught up because it's Jim Norton. What's his name? Jim Norton? Ed Norton.
Ed Norton.
My heart was fucking beating like I was robbing the place. And I loved it. My dick was... I loved that shit. I love that. That's a complete different rush than anything.
The score?
Like, the score. Like, fighting is one thing. Fucking is one thing. But doing something of a criminal activity for me for a long time, just anything of a criminal
trespassing,
anything, I loved it. My heart would beat a certain way, my ears would ring a certain way.
You ever try to sneak into places like events just to say, let me see if I can try and sneak in, even though you can get a ticket or you have a ticket?
When I was a kid, I snuck into the Garden for everything, because what you do is you go to one game a season, so you go to a Knick game,
right?
You pay the $15 and you get the ticket stub.
Yeah.
So then you take $20 and you put on that stub. Next time you go to the Garden and you stub your way in. That's what that was called in those days. So you stub your way in and basically you don't have a seat. So now you got to go get a seat. They let you in. You're in.
Wait, so for $20?
Yeah, for $10. You know, I went to see Ted Nugent and AC/DC. I put a 10 under a ticket and they let me in.
Yeah.
I went to see the Sixers against the Knicks on Christmas Day one time. I put a 10 under a ticket.
Gotcha.
And they let me in.
We used to sneak into the Forum for the Laker games.
Really?
Yeah. We would go in there. You can go into the Forum. We did it this way. So if we would go in, and if you left, okay, this is what we did. Basically, to make it a long story short, if you left to go smoke or whatever, they would like put an X on your ticket with a paper, like an X. So we took the ticket and we slipped it through the door, and our friend had the ticket stub. So now he had the ticket. We were in. Is this the door to inside to the outside? He had the ticket stub. He wrote the X on it. Went to where. Boom. He walked in. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
It was like real easy. So we snuck into like Laker Celtic games back in the day.
Did they ever catch you and throw you out?
No.
Where would you sit?
This was like standing room only. I don't know. Guys were moving around. We had like I don't believe me. I want a seat. I'm not one of those guys who's comfortable bouncing around.
The Lakers played at the Forum.
The Lakers played the Forum
for years.
Was Inglewood as scary back then? Like,
was it? When the Lakers played in Inglewood, was worse, guys?
Inglewood was all right, but no, it was like known as what it is now, kind of. It was like a little edgy, but the Forum, I'm sure, was safe in the parking lot. But I used to go to like 2 or 3 games a year, like, again, when the Celtics would come to town. Saw the Nuggets, Trailblazers. But, yeah, we would sneak in. And then also the L.A. King games. My friend worked there, so we would get in. And there's, a lot of that stuff going on. But that was L.A. back in the day. That was the spot to be. The Forum was just...
I was scared. Like, the only place I ever tried to sneak into were movies, and
That's even scary.
No, because I'd at least buy one ticket. It's not like I never really went through.
You buy one ticket and you go to 3 fucking movies. Yeah, they don't even give a fuck.
They don't?
They know you're doing it. Who gives a fuck? That pimple-faced glasses motherfucker. That's 16.
I know that kid.
That wants to be a cop in fucking 8 years.
I've seen him.
He's the one that comes up to you and tries to spray you with deodorant and shit. Like, I'll zap you. But they even told him when he had to hide you, do not use physical altercation. Just let him. This guy's a fucking idiot.
What about getting a refill? I got busted one time for getting a refill at a Circle K in Tempe. Hey, the lady like clamped down on me.
What'd she say to you?
She said you can't do that. I got the soda. It was like a 32-ounce thirst buster. It's Tempe, it's hot. I remember I'm drinking the soda. I'm like looking at the magazines, checking out the stuff. Now, it's all halfway through. Let me go get some more. And she like, hey, you can't do that. I remember it.
Did she call the cops?
No, but she came down on me for it. You remember these incidents in your life when people came down on you for stuff. I remember at the circus one time. Have you heard of Circus Vargas?
No.
You've heard of Circus Vargas is like a local circus. And it was over at like Hollywood and Highland, and this when I was a kid. And some lady said I snuck into the big top. I remember she grabbed my collar. I remember it. So whenever I think of Circus Vargas, it's still around. I see it. I have flashbacks to that lady grabbing me, sneaking in, and I wasn't sneaking in. I'm a good kid. I'm so upset now. No, but I remember I got busted for some lady thought I was shoplifting. Some people I've been accused of a lot of stuff that I didn't do. I don't know why.
I got busted for cheating in school once.
Were you cheating?
Yeah, I was in 4th grade.
There you go.
And I had listen how stupid I was. I had the book under my shirt, and my teacher knew it, and he said stand up, and the book got caught under the desk. I was like, so there was that. That was terrible. I got caught doing what is it? Not shoplifting.
Masturbating?
Oh no, I haven't. That would be terrible. Have you guys ever got caught masturbating?
Almost.
What I was gonna say.
I got caught by an ex-girlfriend. She wanted to take a shower. She came out. I was sniffing her panties, banging one out. You know me. I'm a soldier of death. It was like 8 a.m. We were snorting coke. I was all coked up. I just sniffed her fucking panties. She came out with a towel on. She goes, "You're not sniffing my panties." I said, "You bet your ass, and I'm gonna come on them too." Fuck that. If you put these things back on, you're pregnant as a motherfucker.
What about shoes, like little feet and socks?
No, I've never.
You don't have a foot fetish?
No.
Really?
I like women's feet. I won't suck them or nothing like that.
But if a girl says, "Look, here's panties or a sock. What do you want to hold?"
Panties.
I'd probably take a sock.
Do you?
I think so.
Somebody was telling me that there's a girl that gets money for sending you grungy underwear.
There's a lot of girls who do that.
Yeah, they send you socks that are worn or shorts.
Oh, really?
After they go to yoga.
Sign me up.
What do you like about feet, Brody?
What happened?
In Japan, I've heard they do that.
Just the shape of the toe, the nail, the bones.
You
like
gotta put your boots on.
Like kind of like when they have when they're lined up good, and I like it when they're a little bony. And clean. I like them clean. I mean, I can get dirty though. I can walk. But
I'm not a sex fiend with a foot. I like a woman's foot. I think it's beautiful. I think when I see a fat chick with fat feet and she has sandals on at the airport, I want to tell her husband, "Stop. You didn't advise her before you left the fucking house. You got some pair of balls." I would have said, "Honey, I love you to death, but you can't wear those fucking sandals. It looks like a truck driver's feet." I see it all the fucking time. And the guy should tell the woman, "Can I talk to you aside for a second? I love feet. I love you to death. You're a great cook. I love how you dance. But you can't wear those open-toed fucking shoes. Every time you wear them, I have a fucking heart attack. I wake up in the middle of the night sometimes. I think I'm next to a guy named Nick. Look at the size of your fucking feet. You're a Godzilla. But I love you to death. You're the mother of my children. But those feet gotta go. We gotta do something. They're hoofs."
What do you expect her response to be? "Oh, thank you, honey. Oh, that's so sweet."
I didn't know. Women don't know. Sometimes people just don't know. I got fucked up feet. I got fucked up everything. I
Me
know
too.
going
I have
in.
hobbit feet.
I got fucked up feet, and I got the fucking nail toe. People look at my foot in jiu-jitsu. I get all embarrassed.
I had eczema.
But what's worse? Did I put a Band-Aid on my toe? That looks like a fucking half a fag. So I might as well just go with the fungi toe sticking out. I don't give a fuck. I trim it. I trimmed the fungi toe.
It's fungus?
I've done everything I could. Sebastian told me to spray the thing. Listen, I went up and got it blowtorched. Do you know that's the service? You go on Groupon, and you go to Sherman Oaks, and some Indian lady, because that's the only people that would do that, blowtorch your toe, is Hindus. They're trying to get back at somebody. You go in there in the morning, they get a fucking hose with like a blue hose with like coldest air ever, and they leave it on your toe until you don't feel your toe. Then they blowtorch your fucking toe,
right,
with like a torch, and you see the smoke and the fungi getting burned.
Oh.
And you could smell it.
I was gonna say, what does it smell like?
It's like from the Dumb and Dumber movie.
And you go from one foot to the other, one foot to the other, one foot to... My wife got it for me for Christmas. We tried it. And then I go home and I fucking pick the nail up and spray. Sebastian said he had to spray it on his toe for a year every day. So that's what I did for a year.
He had it too.
Every day I sprayed it. Now the nail is half ubats. Like I've cut half of... When I go to hotels, that's where I do my footwork. I don't work on my feet at my house. I do footwork in hotels.
They have podiatrists on every corner.
Joey,
why are you doing this yourself?
What's a podiatrist?
A foot doctor.
But what do I want to go to a foot doctor for? He ain't gonna help me.
He'll help you.
You gotta trim your feet, and I got a sander.
Oh, a sander.
Where do you get a foot sander?
You get them online. I got a foot sander because my feet crack and shit. I got fucked up skin. So what happens is I take my feet.
I had eczema.
I soak it. I wait till the toenail comes out. I cut the fungus out. I go deep. I take the brown stuff out.
Oh!
I definitely sniff it. You know me. You gotta sniff that shit. That's delicious.
You have to. You have to at least.
Oh my god!
Do you catalog it? Do you have like a diary with like?
No. What you do is you take the toenail and you get some toe jam and you mix it all together like a toe ball. And you sniff that fungi nail.
I think I can help you. Let me ask a question. Do you take supplements? You take MSM?
I take a bunch.
Do you know what MSM is?
I don't know what it is.
Do you take BioSil?
I don't know what
I take supplements that specifically focus on skin, connectivity, those tissues, those I used to have skin ailments. I used to have bad nails, bad skin, jock itch, anal lesions.
Dog, I got a jock itch that I got a scar on my fucking leg. From
But
the heat growing up in Jersey and scratching, like I have a red scar. It looks like somebody blew torch. Like not by my dick, but away on my thigh from growing up in that heat. That heat would kill me.
But these are for collagen. These are for nails. I take it. My nails get stronger. My eyebrows get thicker. I don't have, again, the jock area, the eczema. That's also mental. But I used to have those problems. I'm telling you. And I think if you tried some MSM.
MSN?
I thought you would know. Do you know what MSM is?
No.
MSM. It's,
MSN.
yeah,
Okay.
it's basic stuff. MSM. It's in chondroitin. It's in joint stuff. But if you take it, it's strong. I'm being serious.
I'm
for skin,
learning.
hair, and nails. Look at my nails. I'll scratch somebody. That's how strong they are. I would say, when I heard that story about you having that toenail thing, I say give it a shot.
I will.
BioSil.
I got GNC tomorrow.
I'm gonna go out on a limb.
No, don't do GNC.
I don't think you want to stop, Joey. I think you like it.
What, the toenail?
Or like just the process of digging it out. Like, is that why you do it on the road so your wife doesn't see it?
So the maid sees. Like, just cut fucking pieces of nail. I take some of the jam from underneath. And then I take... I don't have to collect them. I take one, I chew on it while I'm watching fucking the prison show.
You chew on the fungi?
Fuck yeah, I don't give a fuck. I've eaten hookers' pussy. I don't give a fuck.
Do they get?
No, I never eat
Do they get
hookers'
reviewed
pussy.
on Yelp?
Who?
They do. They have
Hookers.
they have a back page for the hand job.
For
ladies.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Can you send me the link?
Yeah, absolutely. Right now.
Joey, when you go, when you do road work, when you're out there, do you get room service every day, or you don't?
No. I gotta go out and see some air and oxygen. Some hotels they put you in industrial parks and shit, and it sucks because that hotel has shifts on food, and you gotta eat their shitty food. That pisses me off. I always try to opt for a hotel with a civilization.
Right.
If I'm in Vegas, since Vegas is one of the only places that gives you a food allowance, I'll go out on a limb and get room service because it's a fucking hike to the elevator when they put me in Vegas.
No, I mean cleaning. Like when do you have a room service every day?
No,
Cleaning.
no.
That's.
I don't want nobody coming in my room.
That's what I'm getting at.
I got a
Okay.
sleep apnea machine. I got sensitivity stuff, and I got my computer.
So they don't pressure you, like, hey, what's going on in there? Why don't you want service?
No. They call sometimes and say, can we get you towels or anything? If I need something, I just give the girl $5 and I'll take 2 towels or borrow soap or whatever I need.
So I shouldn't feel weirded out or pressured by
No,
that.
I don't let nobody in my fucking room. There's
They
one
don't-
hotel I stayed at that actually called like 3 times. And they're like, listen, it's hotel policy. I said, ain't nobody coming in my fucking room. If she wants to come in my room, I got to be in here. And it's not a thing of trust. I just don't want nobody in my fucking room.
Gotcha. So there's a lot of guys like that, a lot of people like that.
I'm like that.
You don't have room service? I mean, room cleaning?
I do. Like, let me ask you, Joey, if you're on the road with your wife, will you? Because when I'm with Paula, I will, because she likes the bed made and all that shit.
But my wife is another fucking thing.
Right.
But I'm an animal. I can sleep in the same fucking... I never like making my fucking bed.
I never
It's
make my
overrated.
bed.
I cover it up and I fix the pillows and fluff them.
Why?
But for me to do the marine thing and measure, I ain't doing that shit. I went
I
to Catholic
can't
school
do
for
that.
4 years.
It's
I'm
hard.
done. You have to have the... What's it called in the corner?
I don't know.
There's a name for that. You pick it up and then you tuck the corner in and you have to put it over and it's got to have a crease in the side. Hospital corners.
Oh, right.
You got to have all that shit. None. I ain't doing no more hospital corners. I fluff out the sheets. I fluff the pillows. I don't like getting in bed and the pillows are fucked up the night before. It pisses me off and it slows me down. Now I'm pissed off again because nobody fluffed the fucking pillows. Now that's another half hour before I fall asleep.
Yeah, I've been making my bed recently. It feels good. There's a new change in my life. But, here's the thing. When you're a comedian or you're a go-getter or you're living day to day, it's like you feel different. One day you feel this way, the other day you feel next. Some days I'm inspired to do this, some days I'm not. Sometimes I'm eating here, some days I'm not. It's just hard to stay I'm doing good stuff, don't get me wrong, but it's hard to really...
Is it hard to be Brody? Or is it...
Oh, God, it's a very deep question.
No, the question is, like, I look at my life when I was unhealthy, and I look at my life when I'm healthy. I have a pattern in the kitchen when I wake up. When I wake up, I do a couple CBD drops. When I wake up in the morning, I drink a cold glass of water with ice in it.
That's a great...
To get my fucking stomach going.
You're supposed to.
Then I put the coffee in. Then I take this fucking, for your throat, whatever the fuck that is, that shit, that vein in your throat, a thyroid. I gotta take a pill for that before I eat. Then after I pop that, I make a fucking fruit smoothie with almond milk and a bunch of fresh fruit and some frozen fruit to keep it a little thicker.
You're already ahead of the game.
Okay, and then after that, I fucking do a CBD drop, 7 drops in my mouth to break all the cancer in my body if there's some in there. Why fucking wait? You know what I'm saying? Then I fucking spray my nose with the antibiotics, the steroids.
How often do you have to do that?
Twice a day.
For how long?
Until I get the surgery on the 11th of July.
Okay.
Then I fucking take a shower, I wash my pussy.
Whoa.
And then I smoke some more dope.
You got
it. And then
it.
I eat my eggs, my 3 pieces of bacon, and my 1 slice of wheat toast. I don't eat egg whites. I only eat egg yolks. You understand me? I go right for the heart of the chicken. Why fuck around with that fucking creamy white shit that smells like dick? You know, if I smell egg whites fried, I get sick. Yeah, I can't even smell them no more.
So that's your routine right now?
Yeah, or I switch it up. I get oatmeal with coconut milk. Who's better than Uncle Joey?
I like that. That's
then
great.
Then I walk my daughter to school. So I got to jump at 9 o'clock. I'm out there exercising the lungs, maybe a half a mile. So I put a mile in. I do my breathing exercises in my walk, Dr. Belize's book. I do the walking, breathing exercises. Then I get home, I write for an hour, and I put my gi on, and I go to jiu-jitsu. And I get beat up by young kids, and I got to do sit-ups and push-ups. And I figure every time I go, I got to do 25 push-ups. So if I go 3 times a week, I do 75 push-ups a week, you know? This is shit that you don't do at home. I do that.
Right.
I get beat up. I work my cardio. I get my core stronger.
Okay.
I drink a little protein activity, 26 grams of protein, refuse my electrolytes.
Yep.
I also take a lime and I freeze it, and I fucking grind the lime core because it's good for your asshole. What's that thing in your asshole men die from?
Prostate.
Prostate. It's good
or
for you.
colon.
Both.
Both of them.
So you shave the lime, that powder.
You shave your asshole? I mean, the lime?
You shave the lime, that little fucking
That's a lot of work.
powder that comes out of that lime.
Yeah.
I'm shocked that you do all this.
You put it in your fruit smoothie.
Oh,
you
now it's in the smoothie.
Because I look in the living room and I see that little girl with
You have a kid.
ponytails. And I at least got to be around till she's 12 to navigate her fucking Cuban mind to awake those spirits. You understand me? I can't have her walking around and have mode. You know, it's a different game. I got to prepare for fucking 2020. I ain't got time to fuck around. So if I could live till she's 12, I'm good. If I could walk her down the aisle, that's fucking better. If I could see her graduate college, that's better. The way I look at it, it's every little bit helps.
Yeah.
Every little bit helps. I'm not dying for nothing no more. When we were young, we'd die for stuff. We'd stay up all night to catch a plane. You know how bad that is for you? To stay up all night to catch a plane?
Not
You know,
good.
somebody's told me that after I have the surgery, I'm going to lose 50 pounds off the bat.
What surgery are you getting?
My nose. And they said, this is why. Because he goes, when I first met you, you never breathed out of your nose. And since your body wasn't getting oxygen, that's what got you hungry. That's what made you eat all those sweets. He goes, once you started breathing and working out, the weight fell off. But I could still hear the shit in your nose. Because I was double taking on it. I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have the surgery. And he goes, no, you got to have the surgery. Your life's going to change completely. Because now you're getting more fresh oxygen, which makes your body... And I test my pH every morning. And it's really amazing because, like Dr. Belize said, when I leave, sometimes it's fucked up, my pH. But after the walk and the breathing exercises, when I come back, perfect. 6.5. You go to Amazon, you buy the pH strips, they send you a roll, and you do it every morning. And I never do it after jiu-jitsu. I wonder what it is after jiu-jitsu because you sweat fucking gallons with that gi on.
Yeah.
My gi is outside right now. I looked at my fucking pants. From your back, how much is on your back? Never mind the strip from your ass. Your asshole sweats, your ball
You
sack
wash the uniform every...
Bro, every day. It's in the laundry right now.
You have a washer and dryer?
Everything, yeah.
See, I don't.
I hang it up. I have to leave my knee pads outside. Even cocksuckers don't get their knee pads this sweaty. That's how sweaty you get your knee pads at jiu-jitsu. Even people who suck cock for 12 hours
They don't.
couldn't get their knee pads this fucked up. And I think that's really good. Just the sweat part of jiu-jitsu.
Got to break the sweat. That's what
even
Matthew
if I suck,
McConaughey says.
it's
Break the
not
sweat
even-
every day.
It's like when I do kettlebells.
Oh,
I wouldn't go home till I saw the sweat down here. Like I won't go home from a workout till this is all covered with sweat.
Gotcha. And
Whether it's the elliptical machine, punching the bag, whenever I did all that shit on my own, that was my goal. I want to smell some of the reefer
coming through the pores.
coming through the pores. You know, I want to smell some of this shit coming.
Apple
through.
cider vinegar. That's what I take.
And that cleans it all out.
I can smell it like go through my pores. I've been taking that with some orange juice. I down it. It's supposed to be really good for you. The mother's brag, mother of the earth, apple cider vinegar. They say it's good for just detoxing. I mean, everything.
Everything.
So I take that. I do need to drink more water. Go ahead, Lee.
You were talking earlier about how important baseball is to you. Like, would it change if you couldn't pitch? Like, because you do that a lot. I watch you on Periscope. You throw like.
Well, that was a one-time deal, actually. That was.
Well, but you practice as
baseball's in my blood.
Right. Like, if you couldn't do that, how would that change you?
I mean, it'd be. Didn't see that question's coming out from left field.
Well, no, it's about sweating because like I think that's what you do a lot to exercise. Like that's what I was imagining. Like,
if I couldn't play baseball, well, I'd be depressed. I mean, I like throwing the baseball. I did play baseball the other day.
Do you have a bounce back in your yard or anything anywhere like that? You could just throw a bounce back. Remember those things from the 80s?
I do have a bounce back, but I need to put it together with a screwdriver. Sometimes I'll go down. What I would do is go down to the high school, North Hollywood High School or Reseda, and I'd throw the ball against the wall because it's hard to get a catcher. Like get a guy to catch you. But my friend, who's a coach with the Cubs, he's a Major League Baseball coach, so we would always throw. I play catch with him before spring training, so I always get like a month or 6 weeks in of like good professional catch with like a guy who knows what he's doing. Because if find a comedian to play catch with, sometimes it's hard. Like they don't know what they're doing. It's not as fun. But when you're with a pro, boom, 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 get a good workout. So for me, I'll go and throw against the high school, or I'll do the tubing. I train like a pitcher, but I'm not actually pitching in games. But this charity game came up, and I had been practicing. I did throw a bullpen this year, on the side. I still have it. I'm not, but I didn't think I'd play in a game. I didn't think I would play. This game came out of nowhere. It was a charity game that a former Major League Baseball player put on. So at the last minute, they said, "Brody, you want to go pitch?" I go, "I'll try," because I just played catch and I threw a bullpen in spring training, and I pitched 1 inning. Then I went to 2, to 3, to 4, and it's like, I look pretty good. So just kind of like, it's good for video. It's good for me. I enjoyed doing it. It was like, wow. I got a kick out of doing it. It was exciting.
In my world, whatever keeps you happy. That's it.
Yeah, but it doesn't pay my bills.
Who gives a fuck?
Well, it's,
Who gives a fuck?
I think a lot of people could do what I do.
Listen, how many people...
But they have kids.
How many people have a job that can pay their bills, but hate their job, hate their wife, and they hate going home? Sometimes money isn't fucking everything.
Well,
money is not everything.
I just want enough to survive, to keep doing periscopes and pitching.
And you're happy as shit. That's what a hobby is. To take your mind away from the everyday.
Drumming too.
Absolutely. You think I'm going to be a world champion jiu-jitsu guy at 53? Is that why you think I go to jiu-jitsu? Do you think I'm doing this to fight? I do this so for 1 hour, it belongs to me. That's all I want from the day. 1 hour that belongs to me. I'm my own fucking Nazi. I'm my own Hitler. I'm my own Fidel Castro. I'm my own dictator.
Yeah.
For 1 hour, I leave the phone in the car. You know what? That audition could suck your dick. The only thing that lingers in your mind as a man is that something bad could happen. You can't be there to help somebody, on your phone. But when you're training jiu-jitsu, if you're training, you can't check your phone until every 30 minutes, so you go get water anyway. So something bad could happen. I don't leave my phone in the car because I enjoy it.
I kept this in the dugout. I checked between innings. It was pretty cool.
All right, whatever. But I'm saying when you work out, like, that's your own 1 hour. If that's what keeps you funny, is pitching against a fucking wall at North Hollywood High.
On Periscope.
On Periscope. Then so be it. That's what people understand. I believe in keeping people's powder dry. People got to learn how to keep their own fucking powder dry. What's mean keeps your powder dry? Go off the deep end in whatever way you describe it, whether it's alcohol, drugs, any fucking way. Losing your temper, yelling at your wife, anything that controls that shit is keeping your powder dry. If it means that you go to a fucking circus and hang upside down for an hour with monkey shit in your face and you come back and tell me but you got a smile on your face, who gives a fuck? There's times I go on stage. I don't want to go on stage. I don't care what they're fucking paying me. You know that? But there's times I wake up, my back hurts, I feel like shit, and I say to myself, I'm not going to jiu-jitsu. I go, wait a second. If I don't go to jiu-jitsu, my whole day's going to be ruined.
Do kettlebells instead.
Well,
bingo.
But I understand, and that's what I was doing for a long time. I would cut I would take a shortcut with the kettlebells.
There you go.
And not go to jiu-jitsu. No, I want to go to jiu-jitsu. I'm treating this like being an open micer. Remember when you were an open micer? Regardless of what was going on, you did that spot.
Yep.
Whether you felt bad, whether your cat was dying, you don't give a fuck.
We would go. That was guaranteed.
That was guaranteed.
Monday, Tuesday.
I had to apply the same technology to jiu-jitsu. Because, dog, when I wake up in the morning, I'm overwhelmed. Between the podcast,
Me too.
Stand up,
How do you,
your agent talking to you about stupid offers, your wife talking to you about she saw a cabin and whatever. It's just ridiculous. So for 1 hour, I just disappear. I don't give a fuck. I get on the phone, I say I missed 6 messages, and I fucking love it.
could you do 2 hours?
Of what?
Disappear for 2 hours.
2 hours is a little tough in my world because of the baby.
I try and disappear for about 24 hours.
How's that work out for you? Not too fucking good. Not too fucking good. If I could fucking find you, you can't disappear that good.
No, yeah, it's. Look, I like doing the baseball. But of course, I would like to do it where I'm getting paid for it somehow. When I do stuff on Periscope,
Why don't you become a fucking announcer? Why don't you become a
Batter
major
up.
league? Why don't you become a major league announcer?
It's not that easy.
Who said? Who said?
I'm a pitcher, Joey.
I know you're a pitcher. And what the fuck do you think half the announcers are? Ex-baseball players.
Good point.
Okay, so get in
Stepping
there.
up to the plate.
You could work 6 months a year, make your nut, and the other half go on the fucking road for
I
6
should be an
months.
announcer.
Are you fucking crazy? With a suit on, they take care of you. You go to different cities. Then it becomes the point where, let's say you go to Chicago for 3-night stand.
Yeah.
You do comedy one night.
Yeah, because it's a day game.
Who's better than fucking
day
you?
game.
Who the fuck you think is Joey Ideas? You ever,
That's great. I
That's
can
what
promote
we-
the show during the 7th inning
you
stretch.
see what I'm trying to say?
Take me out to the ball. By the way, I'll be doing stand-up later tonight after the game.
That's it. And people, you'll sell out every fucking place. You'll do theaters.
Yep.
Baseball players will come see you. People take pictures. It becomes a national fucking riot. Brody Stevens, why don't you fucking become an announcer? You got ins at Fox.
I need to do. I do. I need to
You
push.
have a tremendous
I'm
in
not
at
pushing.
Fox.
I'm not pushing.
Say, listen, start me up with college fucking games. You got girls in college that are coming out of high school announcing.
I should be doing. Your
experience,
I'm
you
the
know
new
baseball.
I'm the new Dick Vitale.
Dog, this one, and with personality.
Vin Scully's retiring soon.
Yeah, what the fuck? You're sitting on the sidelines. You like baseball. You say it.
Well, that's what I'm trying to do.
Listen, Brody, the baseball. You're 46. Obviously, you're not
how'd
going to
you
pitch
know?
in the World Series.
Oh,
So-
Joey, how dare-
So you got to make it a different way. What's the best way to be around pitchers? To be around baseball? You're going to be at the city where Chicago. You're going to be in San Diego for the weekend. I'm sure they're going to let you on to batting practice, talk to the guys.
Yeah.
Throw you a t-shirt. They're going to do a segment.
Yeah.
Brody's Minute. Come on.
Exactly.
Brody, who the fuck do you think you're dealing with? You think you got some novice?
You were there at Best Damn Sports Show. You were there. You were there.
I was there with you on public access television
In Seattle.
1995 in Seattle.
Yes, you
Television.
were.
That's 21 years ago. So you're looking at two morons right now thinking, look at these two fucking momos talking about whatever. But you know what you can't take away from this? 21 years of comedy.
Yep.
That's
Going
what
for it.
That's what so many people can't understand. When Nate Diaz fought Conor McGregor, I had to bet Nate Diaz. I go to jiu-jitsu. I see what the level of a black belt is. When they're a real black belt with a stripe or two, and they're in the fucking game, I lay on top of them. And they're not even breathing heavy. They're down there fucking making a call to their girlfriend and shit. Listen, I'll call you back. I got a 3-pound guy on top of me. Let me fucking flip him. It's amazing. But you know why I had that trust in him? Because he's been doing it for 15 years. When you have somebody... Listen, if I came to L.A., and I got made a regular at the store. And for 20 years, I did my spots. And after 20 years, I wanted to raise my daughter, and I got out of it, and people made fun of me and laughed at me. You know what you can't take away from me, bro? I was at that store for 20 years. I got to be worth something. That's worth something. I had to follow Paul Mooney. You were there with me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got to follow David Tell. You got to follow people. And it's an experience. The experience that we got, starting with Seattle. We were there on Monday nights with Mitch Hedberg and the kid who died from the pills down in fucking Texas. And how many people have we seen come and gone in this business, Brody? And we're still in it.
Yeah.
And, you know, people say, oh, well, you should be the Kevin Hart. I should be a lot of things. I should be in jail. I should be dead. I should be in a rehab fucking right now. But no, I'm in fucking Studio City with Brody Stevens.
Yes.
Still banging it out.
Pushing.
And my little fucking Jew fucking hammer, Lee Syatt over there. Look at him on 900 milligrams of pure Red Star THC. Meanwhile, you're sitting at home going, what am I going to do with my life? Look at Lee. Eating 900 milligrams at 4 o'clock fucking Pacific time.
I kind of want to take a drug test just to see what comes back. Like, do you think they do percentages?
You know what's going to come back? You got lizard blood from those tacos you eat over on Magnolia.
There's no lizard tacos. He always tell you, and any place I go, Brody, he likes to mess with me because I get in my own head. So, like when I go to get dumplings, he says, look for stray cats. There's no cats in Koreatown. And then for this, he says that this taco place has lizard meat.
They got arrested.
No, they didn't. There's Google. Google has every arrest ever.
So you got to Google like a weird animal. Maybe they got the animal wrong. Maybe they had armadillo meat.
What? It's a taco place?
Yeah, right
on Magnolia?
Listen to what happened. When I first moved to fucking up here, I said, what a fucking score. I go to the YMCA, walk around the corner, and go to that taco place. And the whole room went, You don't want to go to that taco place. And I'm like, why not? Is it bad? And in fact, I lied because I'd gone over there one time. And I took Terry one time. She's like, I don't like this. The meat looks kind of weird. And that's when I went back to the wine. I asked the girl, how come you guys looked at me all weird? And she goes, that place got arrested for, they had like fucking, what's that?
Lizard.
No, what's that thing with the thorns on it? Not a porcupine, but the other one.
Amarillo.
Amarillo. One of those fucking things.
Armadillo.
Armadillo meat in there and shit.
Oh, gross.
And they got arrested. They deported the Mexicans who were selling armadillo meat. Even if they don't have it no more, they still got the knives that cut the armadillo meat. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be involved with that shit, Lee. Then you took your father and he got poisoned.
He didn't.
Where'd you take him? The taco place?
No,
That same taco place.
No, a different taco place.
Yeah, the lizard burrito?
No, he had a couple tacos. He just wasn't taking.
It's always good on the way down because you're stoned. You don't know you're eating lizard meat. You think you're like, everybody says it's good, so you're just eating and going, something don't taste right.
Oh. Lizard meat.
Would you eat lizard, Brody?
No, I'm not. I like chicken, steak. I'll eat pork.
That's a good idea.
Bacon,
for you,
mashed potatoes.
It's time for you to take him in a great direction. You would be a great baseball announcer.
Right. I think I could work on it. I could be I could do it. I just need to put the energy out there and make that happen.
Put a suit on, look good.
I think it would be funny. I did the baseball all-star game last year with the Periscope for Comedy Central. I did that. I'm actually trying to maybe one day I like coaching. They do have mental skills coaches in sports. In baseball, they have the Dodgers actually a few years ago had a positive energy coach. They had a guy. A Russian guy out in Malibu who thought good positive energy for the Dodgers, and they paid him like several $100,000 a year. That was the last owner of the Dodgers. But they do have mental skills coaches, and I'm that kind of guy. I'm not a psychologist necessarily, but I played baseball. I'm a good guy. I know psychology. Bring a little bit of humor. Guys like having me around. There's a job there for it. I like being around baseball. I get excited being around. It's in my blood.
So would they come see you in an office? Would you go up to the field to them and go, hey,
probably be on the field.
The other night you went 0 for 3. Is there something you want to talk about?
Yeah. Guys are comfortable talking to me. Like, they're comfortable confiding in me. So, and I think there's something to that. I know when I played baseball at Arizona State, we learned all of that psychology, that's what I put into being positive energy. Yes, because it does work. It is mathematics in play. It does work. And then also just being a Best Damn Sports Show, applying that, being positive, because when you didn't bring good energy, guys were slouching, the show wouldn't be as funny, lights would go off, things would break. But when I got those kids on that show to sit up and pay attention to these football guys, it made it for a better show. So I learned about, especially with warm-up, how energy comes into play, how it affects everything, makes it for a better show. So I was able to work with all these kids, all the high schools, all the community colleges on, sitting up, and they'd like be slouching. I go, look, there's Michael Irvin right there. He's won 3 Super Bowls. Michael Strahan, 2 Super Bowls. You want to talk to him? They're not coming over here because you're not bringing it. Let's go. These kids would come in like goofing around. So But it really, those years at Best Damn Sports Show, those 1,000 shows, really, I was able to apply the sports with show business somewhat. But you know what? You can only do that so far. Hollywood's more sensitive now. The things I did in warm-up back then, I can't get away with now because these kids complain. They'll go on Facebook or they'll write an email, whereas before you could yell at them. They didn't. Nobody had anything. So warm-up, the last 3 warm-up gigs I've done have not been fun because they just they don't want to cause waves. They're just, it's like the audiences are bad, and I care about the show. People don't care about the show. I've always cared about the show. I cared about Chelsea. I cared about Best Damn Sports Show. These shows, so these last few shows that I cared about that I'm not at anymore, people don't talk about them. Where I put my buzz and my energy, good things happen. So I stopped doing that warm-up. I started focusing on the Comedy Store. It's a hot club. I started focusing on Periscope. Boom, Prince of Periscope. So it's like whenever I put my mind to something, I can do it. So at the end of the day, nobody to blame. There's no blame. There's no negativity. But I feel like I'm in a good position. I'm shifting gears, going from being that warm-up guy
to being the man.
To being that man. And there's a big momentum shift that takes a year or two to really like get everything going and then pushing in that direction.
A couple of weeks ago, I went to the store. Dick Van Dyke was there to see you.
Yeah, Dick Van Dyke has been to my shows. Great guy. That feels good to know that.
Another night I went there, some Dodger dudes were there to see you. Some old dudes were there.
Dodgers have been there.
And they brought your shirts and shit like that.
Yeah.
So you have people are out there supporting you. I mean, you have great support. You come along. Last couple of months, I've been sitting here with Lee, and Josh Wolf came on, you come on, Brad came on, a couple other comics that I've known for years. And I'm looking at you, and I'm remembering you in Seattle, me breaking your balls about the fucking show.
And what did you say the other day? That you were driving his car
down to Tacoma.
Down to
Volvo
Gig
diesel
Harbor.
station. Volvo diesel station wagon, and I was in the back seat eating Chinese food, chicken teriyaki from next door.
How good was that chicken teriyaki?
Oh, that was good. They cut it with a scissor.
Oh my God, Lee, you would die. The fucking salad dressing. Oh my God, everything. We were in there all the time.
It was good.
I ate chicken teriyaki every fucking day in Seattle at one point or another. $6?
Yeah, it was a
$5?
deal. Yeah, if that. It was a deal. They were friendly. Not too friendly, but nice enough. Friendly, but not, they still had, they were very Korean or Japanese. But it was right there in downtown next to the Comedy Underground. And then that show, he went down to Tacoma. I think it was a bunch of us. And for some reason, I just wanted to sit in the back of the car. I was like, hey, and it was just, Seattle was a cool time to be there. And those those summer nights, it's daylight out, and it's just like, kind of cool, and I'll get in the back in the hatchback, and that was crazy. Joey was like driving 9, speeding.
He questioned. Listen, what the fuck? Listen, I love.
I was trapped back there like a dog.
I love Becky to death. But when Becky says to me, I went to San Diego, I want to take you to come back 4 hours. I want to smack you because I could do it in an hour 30. You just got to leave at 11 o'clock at night. So I was telling him one day, we're talking that day, and he's pissing me off. He's like fucking baiting me. Like, no, you cannot make it to Gig Harbor in an hour and a half. I've been down there, and it's taken me 2 hours. I think I got down in an hour. Like, I just did 90. There was no signs. There was no stop signs in my world. How normal people drive. And at the time, there was no license. Like, I had no proof that I had a license. I had a license, but I had no paper license. Like, I didn't... In those days, the last thing I wanted on me was ID. So I never carried ID on me. I ain't got ID, but I got it at the house. And they let me go. Nobody wants to take you home to check your fucking wallet. So, I just was in a different fucking state of mind. And I wanted to show Brody. It would take us down there, and it would take us an hour and a half to get down there. And we made it in like fucking an hour 15. The other day, I saw a picture of Tommy Easter on Facebook. Tommy Easter got banned from the Comedy Store. And he called me up and he goes, can you get me back in? And I talked to, what's his name? He goes, give it some time. He fucking bit slapped the maid guy up there. He bit slapped the fucking whatever. So But I told him, like, the Comedy Store is kind of weird for comics when they come in.
Yeah.
That they have to have an experience, Lee. I cannot describe it to you. I can't write a book with a fucking... If Steven Spielberg, who's the author? Who's the best author out there today?
Stephen King.
Stephen King came over here right now. I could sit with Stephen King for a year and couldn't describe to him what I'm going to tell you right now. I saw Tommy Easter. He's put a picture up of him with 5 comics. Now, for people who don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, I'm going to break it down for you. When you do comedy somewhere else beside New York and LA, it's a different mindset. You get raised a different way. You're raised in an old-fashioned comedy community. The guy at the fucking bar is a cokehead. The guy that collects the tickets is an old-school comic that did have a heyday, but he really ain't shit. But he knows the business, you know? And when you watch the movie Punchline, that's what made me jump on comedy. It was a fucking dirty club in the middle of New Jersey, and the comedy club manager wanted to manage comics because he thought he would become a millionaire and blah, blah, blah. It's a greasy business. But at the end, it's your fundamentals. Okay? It's your fundamentals. When you move to LA as a comic or New York as a comic, you do not have fundamentals. This kid in front of me right here, I used to torture him at Monday nights about his... He had a public... What was it called?
Cable access?
A cable access show. 21 fucking years ago. So do you want to question Brody Stevens' resume?
How dare you?
Or any comic's resume? Look at this picture. Now, right there, there's 6 guys at Herbs, or whatever the fuck they are. They're stoned. Between the 6 of them, they probably got $22.50 on them. Guess what? When they're sitting in their mansion 20 years from now, counting $100 bills, they're going to miss that time right there. Because there's not a day that I get on stage and I come off that stage at the Comedy Store and I don't think of a night at the Underground. I cut my teeth at the El Paso Club. I cut my teeth in Houston. I started at the Denver Comedy Works. But where I became a comedian and where I saw the best performance of my life was at the Comedy Underground. You know, Laurie Kilmartin is still around town.
Yep.
I opened for Laurie Kilmartin the first time. That, to me, like, I see Laurie now, and she don't say nothing to me. And I don't, you know, whatever, people will get different heads when they come down here. Till this day, I see Laurie, and I would cut her toenails. Because she was the first headliner I got the feature for.
Right.
That's huge, Becky. That's huge. I couldn't feature nowhere else. I moved to Seattle. I called John Fox. He features me in September. Lee, you can't describe that. One of the best times I've ever had in my life was that week of the Seattle comedy competition.
Oh, yeah.
Because on that Sunday, we all went to Seattle football game with Al Triferis and the black kid with the kidney problem from fucking Portland, Oregon. I used to call him the
Floyd.
Floyd. He lives in Michigan now. There was 15 people hanging out all week. You know, James Inman. And you like some guys, but for the most part, you did like everybody. It didn't really matter. We all knew what it was. You weren't going to fucking be on a movie or do a movie with Eddie Murphy. But I learned so much in that room. That's the first room I ever did 22 minutes in. You know, that's the first room where I ever improvised in. Think of all the things we learned there. Like, that was our first fucking trial and error room. That's it. That basement will lie in my soul for the rest of my life. And I got all the respect for the Comedy Store. And I'll tell you how strong that basement is. That there's 3 of us in L.A. right now from the same class fucking rocking it. Me, you, and Josh Wolf are still alive and kicking. Still alive and kicking down here. You know, and we cross paths. I cross paths with you on the Best Damn Sports Show. You cross paths with him on Chelsea.
Yeah.
How could that be possible?
Because we learned the fundamentals there.
Did you see the movie, the 30 for 30? With Jim Valvano? Anybody
I've seen it.
The black kid that kept saying, the math of high school. I always thank Coach Wooden because he did what? He taught us the fundamentals. And he showed the basketball game championship level. And the guy throws a pass and he goes to reach with it with one hand. He goes, they lost the game. Why? Bob Wooden. Fundamental. You never catch a cross-court pass with one hand. You always catch. And you sit there and go, you're fucking right. Championship college basketball game. You know, We have the fundamentals. I mean, I learned everything in that club.
Yeah, I learned about a three-person show. It wasn't a showcase club. It was a three-person show. On the weekends, you had the open mics with a crowd. You know, it was kind of a supportive.
Monday and Tuesday was very supportive. 35 people, 50 people. But Wednesdays belonged to us. So either me, Brody, Gavin, Josh Wolf, somebody else got the door, 70% of the door, and we would have to promote it. And then we take the money, we give each other enough money to get weed, and then we go to that restaurant, McCormick and Schmidt's, and get the happy hour from 11 to fucking 2. They would have a hamburger for happy hour for $2. They'd have a shrimp cocktail for $2.
Seattle was great.
It was,
Summers in Seattle. Whoa.
I got arrested 6 times in 18 months. You understand me? It don't get no better than that, though. And it's amazing that you're here today, and I was on the phone with her yesterday talking about ridiculousness.
Yeah, energies, putting it out. Yeah, I learned that, but you were the one who also told me, like, because when you start there, you get to a certain point. Like, I made it to where, okay, I was getting to do guest spots and maybe host a show. That's about where I leveled off because, you come there, they don't know you. It's like, you first impressions, and I was fine with that. And I sold my T-shirts for the Seattle Supersonics. I just learned to public speak. That was my goal, just learn to public speak. But after a few years, I felt like I was done with that cable access. I kind of had my voice, but I needed more, but I wasn't ready for L.A. And you told me, go to New York. Joey was the one. So go to Surf Reality. And that, for me, was just like, I didn't look back. I went to New York, and it was like right away I felt like comfortable.
I told 2 people to go to New York, you and Mitch Hedberg. Because if I go to New York, there's 1,000 people like me in New York. I'm going up against 1,000 Guidos in New York.
Mm-hmm.
If I go to Seattle, there's nobody like me in Seattle.
There wasn't.
And in L.A., there's a few of us.
Yeah.
So when you're a comic, you want to go where you're a novelty. If you're a fat little Jew like Lee, you don't want to fucking go to New York because there's 1,000 Jews in New York.
Yeah,
they'll relate to you.
So should I go like down south?
No, you'll get killed. They'll fucking kill you at the midnight. You know what I'm saying? Go to Beaumont and tell them I'm Jewish. Jump around and shit. They'll stab you with a knife down there.
I was thinking Orlando.
They'll stab you down there too. They only want Mickey Mouse. Trust me. But no, you would go to like Michigan.
Fuck, it's so cold.
That's part of the fuck. That's what builds the character. When I get in the car with you, the gig starts at 8, and we gotta leave at 5, and we got enough money for a tank of gas, and to stop at 7. Depending on how much gas we got, we could stop with an hour left and maybe get something to eat. There was no headshots in the car. There was no agents coming to the show.
Nope.
It was just me and Brody. Brody had 18 minutes and he was going to feature. And maybe I had 32 minutes and I was in the headline. But guess what? I don't give a fuck. I need that $150. That's a bond you build. And that's something to see, that vulnerability that you remember forever. If you think I remember being on The Longest Yard, yeah, it was great and I had a good time. No. I remember driving back from fucking Riverton, Wyoming with Rick Kearns, and he's drinking Jack and Cokes like they going out of style. He's behind the wheel telling stories and smoking cigarettes and shit. And the car's going from fucking one side to the other. That's when you remember a comic for the rest of your fucking life, okay? I talk about that story with him in the back seat because I remember that for the rest of my life. Him yelling in the back, normal people don't drive like this. And, and us howling. He had us fucking howling. When I get out, I'm going to call the police. This is kidnapping.
Yeah, those are just crazy days, and Seattle was the perfect spot to be. It was just a hot spot, but then when I went to New York, I really never looked back. When you're in New York doesn't even know that Seattle exists. It's not even not even on it.
And this is the funny thing that. I talk about this all the time, that there used to be a comedy newspaper. The San Francisco scene at one time was so big, guys.
Oh, yeah.
In the mid-'80s, it was so big. I mean, from Margaret Cho to Bobby Slayton there was so fucking many comics up there. And the guy, John Fox, who booked Reno, he booked all those clubs, the Punchlines, he booked Seattle Comedy Underground, he was a part owner on the club. He put out a publication. They interviewed, but in the back of that, they would have every comedy club, state by state, Arizona, California.
Right.
And they would have the logo for the club. And I remember that I would sit there and look at that Seattle logo. And I always had an inkling about Seattle. This was weird, guys. That in 1970 fucking 6 or 7 or 3, the Seattle Supersonics went to the fucking playoffs. And they were amazing. They had a basketball. Put a guy named Downtown Freddie Brown. All right, Downtown Freddie Brown. This kid blew my mind. So you had to stay up late to watch Seattle, was it? Yeah, you had to stay up late. Well, we lived in Jersey.
Yeah.
And I remember staying up, like lying to my mom, like I'll be in bed, but watching the TV, and they would show this city, Seattle.
He was drafted in 71.
Who? Downtown Freddie Brown?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but show a video of him.
Okay.
What do I give a fuck about?
I don't know.
What year he was drafted? What
I thought you were looking for the year.
No, I'm looking for a picture of Downtown Freddie Brown. He was this short, little, chubby guy that drank beers on the bench and popped 30-footers.
No, he didn't. He drank beers on the bench?
Yes, he did. Yes, he fucking did, in a brown bag. And he also told him he was going to play defense.
He said that? He said that?
He said, listen, you need 6-7 points.
So you saw that?
I saw this in 77, whatever the fuck. Where's YouTube?
It's right up there. No, I get that because when I was...
There you go, 1979 finals. Okay, Freddie Brown, 1979 finals, game 5. Okay, you know, this guy was a fucking savage. Look what he was built like. And they're playing the Washington Bullets with Wes Unseld, fucking Earl I mean, they had a tremendous team. Look at him. Bam! That's all he did, Lee. When he shot, he did not miss. See, he would always come in the second quarter.
They had
Jack Sikma.
They had,
look at Freddie Brown, Lee. Look at him. Bam! That's all he did. He was money. Look at him. That's all he did. He would tell him, listen, I don't want to fuck around. Put me in when you need points. I'll bang out fucking 20 points, and I don't want to play no more.
Wow. Basketball was fun then. It's fun again.
Dog, I used to stay up. This was a tremendous Washington Bullet fucking team.
How old were you, Joey?
15, 14. I would cry watching these things.
But you know
what?
what?
Look at Freddie Brown. Bam! Bam! Like nothing. He don't miss. Look at him, little chubby black dude. He would.
You know when the
he wouldn't get out of the game once they were up 3 points. Coach, timeout. I'm done, coach.
You know what? The Lakers in the 76ers when Magic scored 42 points in 1979.
Look at this one. Look at this. Bam! Look at him. He's on fire by himself. That's it. Now he calls a timeout. What'd I tell you? Seattle, first lead of the game. He's out. That's it. He calls it, coach, I had enough. My lungs. I got to smoke a cigarette and shit.
But the Lakers 76ers, that game where Magic scored 42 points to clinch it, that was on tape delay. That wasn't live. That's where basketball was. That was on at like 11:30 p.m. on Channel 2 here in L.A. It was not live. That's where basketball was.
Wow.
So this game, I'm sure, wasn't live. You're watching a tape delay or something. But
hold on.
On late at night still.
Look at Freddie Brown on the floor. That's it, coach. I can't. Put that back. He popped it. They knocked him down. Look at him. Watch this fucking shot, Louis L'Amour.
Did I miss it or should I go back further?
Once. So let's see if they show the instant replay here. Look, they even play funky music. Look at them. Ask the coach, where's my beer at, dog?
So that's what triggered, that's what you saw, that Seattle stuff.
I love this Seattle thing. I'm like looking at this fucking Seattle thing, and I'm going, wow, there's some cool white people up there. I want to go up there. I heard about what's his name was up there killing chicks. I go, I wonder what the fuck's going on up there. And then when I watched Goodfellas in 91, he went to Seattle, and he got arrested for selling coke. So I'm like, wait a second, there got to be something going on up there. So that was one of my dreams, to go to Seattle. I was like, I gotta go to Seattle and do fucking comedy. How am I gonna get up there? I get a road gig to Michigan. While I'm in Michigan, I finished the fucking... Lee, you're gonna love this one. I forgot to tell you about this one. I'm out in Michigan. I finished the show, and this girl, a hot girl, comes up to me and says, do you want to have a drink with me and my friends? I say, yeah. I end up talking to her and her friends. I go, I gotta go, because they didn't have weed or something. I don't want to sit here with these fucking stiffs. I go back to my room. My friend goes, where you going? I go, I'm going back to sleep. Thank you for coming to the show. He goes, listen, man, I can't drive her. I'm hammered. Can she stay the night with you? This only happens when you're a comedian.
Can she stay the night with you?
Oh, yeah.
And I go, what are you talking about? And she's like, yeah, I know you have 2 beds. You were talking about it. Would that be a problem? Can I stay the night with you? She got a mini skirt on with heels. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be a long fucking night. We go back to the room. We watch a movie. She stays on her side of the bed. I stay on my side of the bed, whatever. Fucking 3 hours later, I wake up to her on the phone crying with the ex-boyfriend. He's telling me he's coming over to beat me up and shit. She's saying that she didn't fuck me. She wakes me up and asks me, did you fuck me? And I'm like, what the fuck am I waking up to here? You know, it was fucking... So after all this drama, I go, you know what? After all this drama, you might as well fuck me.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you know me, dog. I asked her right out, this is bullshit. Now you're going to have to give me a piece of that fucking ass.
Yeah.
And what'd you say?
Give me a ride home. I'll suck your dick at my house.
Nice.
So I gave her a ride home. The only thing I didn't know, her house was 2 hours away.
Oh, yeah,
It's a long BJ.
So on the way home, I go, listen, dog, you can't just sit here like this. And you can't smoke cigarettes in my car. And she goes, well, what can I trade you? I go, take your fucking clothes off if you're going to smoke in my car. She took her clothes off.
Oh, God.
This chick was crazy. And I dug it. I had been single. I loved crazy women. I'm like, I got to take a ride. This is tremendous. Went back to her house, and guess what? Went back to her house. I felt so bad, guys. I didn't have sex with her. Like, I had such a good time with her. Like, she took me out of my funk. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, sometimes when you're in your funk and you just bump into somebody. And at that time, I needed coke to do everything. I sat with this girl for 3 hours, and I didn't need coke. I talked to her, and at the end, I go, you know what am I going to gain by trying to fuck this poor girl? She's got this idiot boyfriend. I'm going to cause more problems. I don't even know if he's outside with a car. I don't know what the fuck's going on. In those days, I had a flare, a hanger, and like a fucking BB gun in my car. I had nothing. I had no weapons, no protection. So I dropped her off. I gave her my number. Guys, come on. This hot girl is not going to fucking call me back. I just tried to finger her on the drive. She's not going to fucking call me back. Guess what? She called me back. And she came to Boulder. She drove to Boulder. Oh. She stayed in Boulder for 2 weeks in my basement with me. We cooked. We went camping. We had a fucking great time. And she says, I'm going to meet my friend in Seattle. I'm going to get a job up there as a stripper. And if you want to come up, you come up. This is my fucking dream. I'd love to go to fucking Seattle. I'm not going to do nothing here in Boulder. All I'm going to do is kill my ex-wife and end up going to jail. That's all I'm going to do here. That's the truth of the matter. And then I got banned from the Comedy Works. And it all fell. I follow life. Life gives you their own signals sometimes. I got nothing here. No job. I'm delivering Chinese food and selling coke. And trying to do comedy at night. That's not going to last. That's not going to fucking last.
You know, you can get by for a little bit.
I fucking drove up. I did a triple run.
Yeah,
that dropped me off like in a couple miles from Portland. He used to have a room in Vancouver, and I drove all night, and I moved in with him. And then things happened.
Yeah.
Then things happened, but we live and we learn. Her and I still talk. And you know what? I got the comedy college that I wanted. We were in Seattle. We did the contest. Mm-hmm. It was an education, you know. Aisha Taylor came in 5th. I came in 6th. I got no fucking... Even Aisha Taylor, who's on all those shows, she was up there with us.
I miss Seattle. It's one of my towns that I actually think about. I feel like just living up on Queen Anne above the Space Needle, to look out over the water. Because I was in Arizona for 5 years. I went to school at Arizona State, and I grew up here in the Valley, so I wasn't around rain or snow or anything like that. So I really did the fresh, clean air. Was like, I needed that. I needed the arts. I needed to be around grunge, even though that was wrapping up. But
what was the name of the cook at the fucking Underground? The young kid with the long hair that looked like Chris Cornell. That became my brother. At the end, he became my brother. It broke my heart. I heard he got married and became a born-again Christian and shit.
I forget.
That dude kept me alive the last 3 months in Seattle. I owe that kid my life. I really do. I can't remember what his name is. He came down to L.A. one time, and I picked up packages for him. He goes, I'm going to meet you at the Comedy Store. And then he called the next day. He goes, listen, the girl I'm with, she's not partying. She's the manager of the band, so I really can't party. And I was upset for like an hour. I understood it, but then he never called again, and I lost. And then Josh went up there and bumped into him.
Yeah.
Josh, do you remember the cook I'm talking about? Young.
I do.
There was a fat Mexican kid. There was the Filipino.
He wasn't that friendly, though. The
fat Mexican kid was a scumbag. Once in a while, he gave us free nachos and shit.
Yeah.
Then there was the Filipino bartender upstairs who was a dick to us.
Anthony was a bartender upstairs.
The Filipino guy. He died after we left. We had, and at this bar, Brody.
Bill was downstairs.
Bill was downstairs. He would do coke with the Asian. That was his girlfriend. I remember going there on a Monday night, and the Asian waitress, Bill's girlfriend, and Bill had done heroin.
Heroin?
The open mic started at 8, and the fucking waitresses are like this at the table. They're fucking nodding. And I had to get the door guy, who's on Facebook now, the older guy with the long hair with the glasses.
Carl?
No, a different guy. Clay just hit me up on Facebook.
He did?
Yeah, about a month ago. He's living somewhere in fucking Bangladesh. Good guy, Clay. Clay's like, you got to wake up. He came to me, Clay. He goes, can you believe these people did fucking heroin before work? This is how crazy this was. Then we used to go to a club named Giggles and torment them.
Terry.
No, Terry Taylor wouldn't let me in the bar.
The guy before?
The guy before I tormented, the Vietnam vet that was a pilot.
Yeah, I didn't really know him, but he would always like comment on everybody's act.
Right, but he would comment on you, but I would be clean when he came in the room. When he left the room, I would work dirty, and then he would blame it on the other comic. I'm getting complaints. Somebody's working dirty behind my back. Who's cursing on stage? And he went after the track guy one day.
Brad Upton?
Brad Upton's like, can you believe this? I'm the cleanest guy in America. This guy's accusing me of cursing because of you, and Brad's not a rat.
Right.
Brad Upton's such a solid fucking guy. I just can't believe that.
What was that guy's name? I could find out.
I can't believe that we're still here, Brody, doing comedy.
Really?
I figured by now. Look how many people gave up.
I don't know what I'm going to be doing in a year from now. But who gave up? Go ahead. I don't want.
How many people that we do comedy with that aren't around doing comedy no more? There's a lot more of us that aren't doing comedy than a lot of the kid with the handcuff on his wrist. He killed himself.
Was that Jeff Masterson?
Oh my God! You got a memory of a hawk.
No, I know that Jeff Masterson.
Rita O died.
Right. Okay.
Rita O died. Did you ever get into a fist fight with Rita O?
No.
Did she ever yell at you?
Not really.
Did you like her? Did you talk to her?
She was on our cable access show. Rita.
Did she show you her dick in the jar?
It's in a jar, right? It's like in a mason jar.
Told you, Lee.
I don't think you ever told me that. Why?
She kept her penis in a jar.
That was the original transgender. 20 years ago, we were already banging it out with a transgender. Some of the best fucking laughs I ever got were with that fucking transgender.
But Seattle comedy was the best, all
Rico, the fat black guy that I told him to pick me up when the cops were looking for me.
Rico had the
fucking spider on his face. You can't write this shit.
James Hennigan,
the old guy, left his wife at 50 to start stand-up comedy.
Kermit Apio,
who won the Seattle comedy competition. I remember him when I was a host.
Vince Valenzuela.
Vince is here.
He's down in L.A.?
Yeah, he's in Santa Monica. He's on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
I just saw he put something the other day. And I'm like, I had forgotten all about Vince Valenzuela. I thought Vince Valenzuela, I just forgot about him. It happens sometimes. Vince Valenzuela was the first person I ever did Moscow, Idaho with.
I've been there.
On a Saturday, we drove. And they would send us those tequila shots, those fucking prairie farts with the Tabasco in them.
Yeah.
Fucking, Lee, what you fucking missed.
Was that a rough room, Moscow, or were they?
They were college kids. It was the university. It was Washington State University.
I did it a few times.
I saw the quarterback up there before he went to New England League. I saw him up there one day at the airport.
Drew Bledsoe. I did that room with Josh. Like Todd Sawyer and Dean.
Todd Sawyer's down here.
Olson.
Todd Sawyer's down here. He's a writer for somebody. I used to see him.
I think he's overseas. I think he's like in. He's in like Thailand now.
Is he? Mm-hmm. Okay, maybe he went to
Kelly Moran. He passed away.
The girl, the wife is still here.
Val Myers.
Myers is still in L.A.
Al Fox.
I don't know where Al Fox is.
He's still maybe up there. Yoshi texted me today.
I know that the black kid's still doing comedy.
Floyd.
No, Count Hopkins III.
Hopkins III, yeah.
I know he's still doing. It's just amazing.
Chaz Ablin.
I don't remember.
He was
Chaz.
friends with Mitch Hedberg.
I remember Chaz now. Okay, yeah. Is he still in town?
I think he's up there. Wally Glenn, Ron Reed, Carl Warmerhoven. We learned a lot up in Seattle. That's why I worked at that club. I learned about seating the clubs. I learned about the restaurant. I learned about the bartender. I learned all about Seattle. I learned about everything about comedy at that level. I just wanted to learn to talk, and I was so nervous just speaking on camera. I mean, off the off mic, doing the announcements. But Clay taught me a lot about working the door. But I didn't love it. I knew that I had to do it. I had to educate myself. I knew it would be good for me.
If you come to LA, I know for a fact that there's a set that I got on one time that I had no idea what I was doing until this fucking day that casting director's mad at me. He's so fucking mad at me that about a year ago I got contacted by the star of this fucking stupid show on YouTube. This is when YouTube was buying shows. Mm-hmm. And he said he wanted to cast me for 3 days. He goes, the casting director's going to call you. This guy never called me again. It hurt the shit out of my feelings. One day I'm in Hollywood and I bump into him at the doctor's office. I go, can I talk to you for a second? How long have we been fucking friends? I go, you never called me? He's like, listen, man, I don't know what you did, but that dude that refused to have you on the fucking thing. Do you know why, Lee? Because I didn't know how to step on the line. I didn't know how to, when they said action, I didn't know any of that stuff. It set me back so much that Monday I had to borrow $500 from Josh Wolf to get into an acting class. I'm not ashamed to say it. That's how bothered I was from my performance. But when I lived in Seattle, somebody got me a job. Laura Crocker, God bless her soul, got me a job doing industrials on Saturdays. They gave you $100 quarterly for 4 hours of work. But it's like a video for Sony. And the guy's talking, hi, my name is Lee Syatt. Here at Sony, and it's me and you walking with boxes making believe. So at least you watch. I was never an extra, but I did those industrials. So do you understand what I'm trying to say to you people? By doing those things in Seattle, nobody ever yelled at me. Because, when I came down here, I did basketball and I didn't really know what I was doing. I did a couple things I didn't know what I was doing. But people filled you in and people were nice. On this particular thing I did, the people were just scumbags. They didn't like me from the minute I walked in there, and now I didn't know what I was doing. I'm a fucking comic, guys. The guy hired me, seen me at the fucking Comedy Store. The guy cast 1,000 fucking movies. He knows what he's doing. Just tell me where to step and what to do. The people were just scumbags. So, but if I would have had that opportunity in Seattle to shoot a short film in Seattle or something, I would have known that action. You follow me? And that's the point of this whole thing, that the reason why maybe we're here is because by the time we got here, we were seasoned already. We knew our way around the fucking thing.
Yeah. That's why I did that cable access. I was able to do live television and see what would stick. And then you get feedback that week, or people come up to you on the street, hey, Brody, hey, Tan, we loved your show. Or we love when you do that. We love when you do that. We did it all in Seattle, and we did crazy stuff. If people unearth those tapes, it'd be kind of embarrassing. But
people still have them.
People have the tapes. I have a lot of the tapes.
Somebody unearthed one a couple of years ago. I saw it online. I was laughing.
But we would get fan mail, and the reason why I did it is like those other guys had that TV show, The Heckler Line, Jeff Masterson, all these guys, and they had a crew, and they were popular. And I was going, I could do this, I think. But I didn't have all these friends for a crew. And then right after that, they had this Hotline studio, which was about the size of this room with 2 cameras, and you didn't have to have a crew. It was just you take a 30-minute class, and then you're set. And then I did that. I felt like I could get practice being on TV. No one's, and I just built up on that, and I just went that way. It just again, that's kind of how I do everything. Like, I kind of do it. You do what feels right, and then if you get feedback like, this is good, and you keep doing it. So Seattle was great for all that. The cable access, selling T-shirts for the Seattle Supersonics, that kind of stuff, doing the whole comedy underground. But after 2.5 years, you hit that plateau, and you go, I'm ready for that next thing. But I'm not ready for LA. I always wanted to go to New York. So my friend got the job with the Yankees. Joey said, go out there. This was before the internet, so I'm researching everything. Go to Surf Reality. That's where I went. Sunday nights, boom. Because now you're going from 4 to 5 minutes, maybe, to 8 minutes guaranteed. And you're right there, and I would just do that. I would do Sundays and Wednesdays, and I became a tour guide at Radio City Music Hall, and then I just fed off the energy of New York and worked on being myself. New York wasn't intimidated by a guy with, loud. It was like normal. So then I was there in New York for 3 years, and at that point I felt I was ready to come back to L.A., but you got to go away. I see these guys, and I go,
you gotta
go on the road.
Got to go away.
Go away somewhere.
Got to go away.
And come back when you're wanted.
Even when I came to LA my second year, I disappeared for 11 months. I basically lived off boxes on the road, and I'd send clothes home, and I'd sell CDs on the road and buy new CDs. It was fucking crazy. I had a system down. And all I would have to do on Monday was call like 3 or 4 bookers. And I would book the year, but I would live off fallouts during the week. I had Roger Paul. I had the guy in Michigan. I must have had 6 guys across the country that I would call and go, hey, man, if there's a fallout, I'm right here. And people would fucking call me back by Wednesday and go, drive up to, I don't even fucking know anymore. These crazy fucking
Roger
towns.
Paul had a lot of gigs. We did those.
Baltimore, he got me a gig one time on a bus, a tour guide type doing comedy on a bus and shit. You're just learning the ropes. What happens is if you don't have that piece and you come out here and let's pretend that you're good looking or your girlfriend helps you write 8 minutes and all of a sudden you get a little fame with that 8 minutes, they're going to throw these things at you and you're not going to be fucking prepared. And that's where people cave on you. They give up on you because they assume you know these things. Listen, I fucking hate acting class, but you got to hit acting class for 60 days just to get the ropes and see what the fuck people are talking about so you don't stare at them like a fucking stranger.
Because you could be the best actor in the world, and if you're holding up the set or something like that, people are going to get pissed and you could be replaced.
Time is money.
Yeah.
Listen, time is fucking money. They tell you all this shit, well, you could live in New York. Just when they call you for an audition, fly in. Really? Like they're going to wait for you to call fucking JetBlue and schedule your trip around. It's I'm just really happy to see that you're still doing it.
I need to take acting classes, by the way.
Well, right now there's not that many fucking auditions. The best thing you could do is get together with 4 guys, 4 comics, and go, listen, 7:30 at night, Tuesdays, from 7:30 to 8, we're each going to do a fucking scene. That's it, and it's all up to you guys. The first guy who don't show up, that's it. Don't come back and get another guy. That's how you do it. For you guys to pay somebody at this point, listen, man, you're at the store every night. That's the best fucking acting
That's good
class
training right there.
Fuck yeah, that's the best. That's why Harrison Ford don't let comics in his movies, because our timing is that much fucking better, dog. Corey Mack, I love you, cocksucker. Gray Ascension, Death Squad, MUFC, Shane Cheverez, Brett Mallon, Chet Rogers, Tal Yaffe, and Bob Lalingus, always in my fucking heart as long as Ookie Spooky's lurking, and Bobby and fucking Christina down there in Austin, Texas, posting fucking pictures of food and whatnot. Lee Syatt, what's on your mind? How you feeling from 900 milligrams of heavy-duty boy today?
I'm feeling pretty high.
You having a good week?
Yeah,
you're training, you're back. When is Mama leaving? When does she take the test?
She still has like a month and a half left.
What do you got this weekend, Lee Syatt?
I think I might be going to see Tom Segura in Irvine. But other than that,
What night is that?
Maybe Saturday.
Very nice.
But I was actually wondering, because I don't know if you can say it's Seattle, but both of you are people who are very unique. A lot of times when you go to the store or the Laugh Factory, comics will kind of blend together, but you'll always remember Brody, you'll always remember Joey. Like, is that from Seattle, or like where does that come from? Because not everyone has it.
I mean, maybe, I don't know. Seattle probably had something to do with it, but
because Brody, my girlfriend got us tickets to the show in Irvine, the Oddball Tour. And those are, in theory, the best comedians in the world. And you were running the side show, and then you hosted on the main show.
Yeah.
And my girlfriend, at the end of the night, and we still talk about you because you always pop up on Periscope. You were the highlight of the night out of the A-list whatever comics.
Yeah, that was one of my better shows. Thank you. Yeah, it was, a lot of it, just putting out energy. I think we had some really good people back in the day, some fun comedians that it was a good creative scene. And like I said, cable access for me and just pushing each other. And I don't know, maybe every city, everyone had their little scene, but I think Seattle was different. It was probably right up there with like a San Francisco and a Boston at its time.
At that time, it was my world, Lee. I had 2 places to go. I had 3 places to go on Monday night. I had 2 places to go on Tuesday night. I don't know where we went on Wednesday night.
Tacoma?
Tacoma was
Crossroads?
Monday nights. Then on Wednesdays there was a bar we used to go up to in that town where all the boats landed. And then I know Sunday was Bellingham, but that was a complete different thing. I mean during the week. And then Laura Crocker booked a bunch of gigs. We used to do comedy but I'll tell you who I had one of the best nights of my life with was that fucking transgender chick.
Rita O.
All right, so this is going to take you motherfuckers deep. I get into a fucking fist fight with my girlfriend and her ex-boyfriend, and they throw me in jail. I come out. I'm living with Rita O in her spare bedroom. Do you remember that, Brody?
I knew you had some... I don't remember you specifically living with her, but
yeah, I had spent 3 weeks with Rita O. And Rita O, on top of being a transgender comedian, you motherfuckers read the papers or read your People magazine and you make your opinions about transgender people. I was around a transgender person for 18 months, and I learned a lot. You know what I fucking learned, man? She was very nice, Rita O. First off, Rita O got pills from the government for her transgender issues, and she pretty much sold them. She snorted blow. She was she would drink 3 pints of vodka a day. 2 pints of vodka a day. Like her breakfast was orange juice and vodka. God bless her soul. Because whatever she was very good to me. She, she was a man, right? Mm-hmm. And then she became a woman. She was half Japanese, half something. Mm-hmm. And she cut her dick off and put it in a jar. I mean, she didn't cut her dick off, but, they did it at the farm, wherever the fuck they do it.
Yeah, at the farm.
And she kept her dick in a jar. Did she really bring it on the show, Brody Stevens, or are you breaking my balls?
I did not see it on the show, but I did hear...
That her dick was in a jar.
Yes.
Because she told me it was in the safe. She goes, I have a safe and I have it hidden in there. I don't think she took it out of the fucking safe.
Is it like floating in water?
Is it safe in the refrigerator?
I don't fucking know. I never even want to.
Formaldehyde.
Why would I want to see somebody's dick in a jar? That's the last thing I want to see. So I never even let her go there.
You don't want to know how big it is?
No, she was tiny. He was tiny.
Yeah, he was small.
She was small. Rita O was 5'2".
But she would talk with that
deep voice,
with a soft voice. But then she'd go,
yeah.
Oh, hi.
Yeah, get away from my nachos. And then
she'd do that for you.
She'd go, what are you fucking guys doing? You fucking laughing about me? Because she had a wig. She wasn't the best looking fucking little tranny you ever seen. She looked like a little leprechaun. God forbid me, I'm seeing her face right now.
Yeah.
And she had like fake eyebrows. It was just a nightmare. And she was 5'2", but she wear heels for somebody who was 6'5".
Yeah.
So she would walk like really slow.
Yeah.
And she'd say, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like she was...
With her cigarette.
With the cigarette and shit. But the whole day she'd be drinking. And what people don't know that I learned was that, I don't know how to say this without offending, or it's going to come back to bite me in the ass.
Don't say it, Joey. I don't want to be...
She was done.
Well,
I had a ton of conversations with her. Because when she switched, she thought she made a mistake.
What do you mean?
That's what made her drink. And that's what the world don't know, that once they make that jump, there's problems. The rate of suicide is really fucking high. That's what America doesn't know, all this thing that's going on right now. Like, it's a tough thing that happens with transgenders. And I got to know her, I talked to her, she'd tell me her problems, but the best, Lee, the best. If I go comedy nights pound for pound, one of the best nights, somebody put together a comedy show in a town about 15 minutes from the underground. Basalt, but something bad. Me and Josh Wolf.
Bothell?
No, that's where the Mexican restaurant was. Me and Josh Wolf lived up there with Mark Madison. Bad something. Anyway, somebody put together a show. The conditions of the show were
Ballard.
The conditions of the show were we couldn't curse. That was the conditions every week. Every week there was drama. Every week and the owner would stand 10 feet from the fucking stage, and as soon as you cursed, he would walk on stage, take the microphone from you and say, okay, good night, ladies and gentlemen. Comedy show is over. And you'd start arguing with him on stage. Come on, I just said shit. I told you, no cursing. And you'd be there, come on, I just said shit. Give me the mic back. Okay, people, okay. One more chance. He's not gonna curse. Thank you. Drink specials, $2.99. And he goes to the side, and all of a sudden you do 2 more minutes and you lay a fucking asshole. Okay, canceled. That's it. Everybody out. So every time he'd see us walk in on Wednesday, he'd pull us aside. Listen, guys, tonight I got a family here. I got my sister-in-law's family. The kids are here. No cursing. We'd all look at each other like, watch this. So I cursed. Somebody else cursed. He's threatening to cancel the show. We put Rita O up there.
Uh-oh.
And she goes up there, and she's bombing. And finally, she just fucking snaps and says, what do you want me to do? Show you my dick in a jar? You fucking pricks, motherfucker. And she just went off. The owner didn't know what to do because he thought Rita wasn't going to curse. He was sitting down eating dinner. The food went flying out of his mouth. He ran up there, took the mic from Rita. Rita refused to get off stage, and he pushed her.
Oh.
All right, so now we got drama. I'm going to call the police. You call whoever you want. I'm going to call the police. And she's like, I don't need the police. I have a gun. She had a gun. What? Rita was there. Oh, dog, you have no fucking idea. You have no fucking idea. She had a gun and everything, Rita. Rita used to get beat up. She was 4'9". She was a leprechaun. Her head was huge. How big was her fucking head?
Size 8.
Lips. Oh, my God.
New era.
Her head was fucking gantus.
Bigger than mine?
Lee, your head is small. Mine and your head is small. No way. But she was a 4'2". That's what fucking makes it even the weirder. That's what. She was a little body with heels on. So, what are we talking about? Okay, so the guy throws her out of the club, and she's like, Joey, whoever, you guys got to stick up for me. We're like, dog, what do you want us to do? You can't curse. But you guys fucking curse. I'm like, well, yeah, we got thrown out, didn't we? We don't have no money. So now we go back to our house. On the way in the car, whoever I'm with is tormenting Rita. Rita's like, I know my fucking rights. I know my rights. And as a transgender, I'm a fucking disability. And she's yelling in the car. And she's, dog, listen, guys, this woman would drink and drive at the same time. Like, I'm not talking about drink and drive. Like, you drink at a bar and drive. She would drink and drive. And not a drink, mixed drink, but the bottle at the light. She was out there, guys. It was a different fucking type of person. I'd be sitting in the car going, when is this car going to fucking crash? So we get back to her house. I'm doing a couple lines, and she says, what am I going to do with my life when I get thrown out of comedy clubs? And I'm fucking pushing her now. Now I'm starting to have a good time. And I say to her, she goes, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to write a letter to the president. I go, what are you going to write a letter to the president for? Call him up. Syatt, this bitch gets up at 2 in the morning and calls the White House. Right in front of me. I'm fucking howling. And they hang up on her, and she calls back, and then they fucking call her back, and fuck you! Fuck you! I'm a disabled. I want to talk to the fucking president. I'm a stand-up comedian. They would not give me my rights tonight. The club is located. It was hilarious. And I'm there feeding the fucking, call back. Call the governor. I don't care what time it is. Poor Rita O. So she used to dance at a gay bar. Oh. They used to hire her like on Tuesday nights, and she'd get on the podium and dance, but she kept falling because she'd lose her balance between the alcohol and the equilibrium from a big head. This is what people don't think. People think this is a joke. When I say it on stage, it ain't no fucking joke. Her head was so big that when she drank, the equilibrium, because Carol kept in touch with her over those years. Mm-hmm. So one day Carol called me. She goes, hey, you know that Rita O is dead. I go, what happened? She goes, she lost her balance at one of those clubs, landed on her head.
Really?
Got into a coma, and that's how she died.
Oh.
R.I.P. Rita O. I just want to tell you motherfuckers the story. The legend of the Seattle transgender that we both got to do. Her and Tana used to go at it.
They would argue?
Yeah.
Oh.
Tana would fuck with her. Fuck you, Rita. Let me pull the wig. Because everybody knew she had a wig. It was the ugliest fucking thing in the world.
Oh, I thought it was real.
Guys, that's the comedy scene at that stage. Rudy Sarzo came on here one day and he goes, it's amazing how music is on the borderline of mental health. And I'm like, what do you think stand-up comedy is? 10 years ago, the open mic at the Comedy Store, half of those people, Boom Chakalaka,
Yeah.
Boom Chakalaka has friends, He just ain't allowed to bring them no more. They'd show up down there in tuxedos and shit, homeless people, and stink up the place and do comedy and not drink. You think I'm kidding you? You don't remember those open mics in Seattle. That kid that used to go up there and say, this is my impersonation of a cow. This is my impersonation of a fly. This is my impersonation of a fucking soldier. That's what he would do for 5 minutes. Wouldn't get a laugh. Walk off stage, pay his tab, and leave. That was his therapy. Half that shit is... When you get on the lower level of stand-up comedy and you go to an open mic, half of that room could snap like a fucking ISIS soldier at any minute. You just don't know that. And they disappear amongst time. They don't grow because people know that they're fucking crazy when they do something crazy at their first hosting gig. At their first hosting gig, they snap. They disappear after their first hosting gig. Those crazy motherfuckers.
There's a bunch. It does attract that kind of mindset.
We knew the one kid, Jeff Masterson. If you didn't think Jeff Masterson was going to fucking do something crazy, listen, I'm no psychiatrist, and I'm not fucking no champion person. But even I knew Jeff Masterson. Jeff Masterson said something creepy to me during the contest or something that I had to look at him and go, this guy is fucking out of his bird.
Right.
You know.
He tried to push buttons sometimes, too.
Yeah, he was very small. One of those guys that's small and tiny.
Oh, yeah.
But he had a weird sense of humor back.
He had that smile. Yeah.
And he would say things to antagonize you, but you couldn't punch him in the head. Because what were you going to get with it? But I also knew that if I punched him in the head, he was going to hit me with a chair eventually one day. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's right there. When I know that, I just leave those guys alone. Because we'll be hitting each other with chairs for the next 200 fucking years. He goes to the hospital. I go to the hospital. He goes to the hospital. That I could tell. He was tiny, and I could tell if he bit into you. And he did fight somebody one night. I got attacked by Al Fox.
I was there. I have that on video somewhere.
No, you don't.
I do.
What was Al Fox? Tell these people.
It was in the back. It was Al Fox had a motorcycle accident.
But what was he at this point?
Paraplegic, partially. He walked. He had a limp. He had a limp and
talk weird.
Yeah, Joey.
Fuck you,
Joey. Joey Diaz. You talk to me, Joey. It's on. I have it somewhere, and you're like pushing his buttons. He's flipping. He's like snarling at you. It's in the back.
He was
there.
foaming from the mouth. Yeah, it was in the back.
Yeah. I have it on video.
How did you get him so riled up?
I don't know what happened. He came back, and I took his chair.
It's not that funny, Brody.
And he took his fucking shirt off, and he wanted to fight me. He was shaking. I'll kick your fucking ass. He was foaming from the mouth. And I got up, and I'm like, fuck you, cocksucker. Why are you insulting me? I didn't know it was your chair.
Yeah.
He came back. It was over a chair. It was like something stupid. Like a fucking chair. You know, open mic Mondays. Where do you sit? In the fucking back. Anyway, just to tell you some Seattle stories, you motherfuckers. Brody Stevens, you look great.
Thanks, Joey.
Thank you for coming on the show. You got any upcoming shows coming?
Well, I'm in town here. I'm at the Comedy Store in L.A. I'm at the Improv here in L.A. I'll be in... going to be out in D.C. and Arizona, but that's not until October. But I'm usually here in Los Angeles. I Periscope, Prince of Periscope. Brody is my friend. Shows are always popping up. Southern California. I did Irvine. I still do audience warm-up here and there. I'm having fun. Just got to stay healthy, find out the next gig, keep podcasting. This is all part of it.
You're beautiful, baby. You're going to give me those leads? You're going to stare at them?
How was the I thought it was pretty good.
No,
it's a good cast.
No, you're a bad motherfucker. You know, that's why I love you. I just got to do these ads.
You're going to go get a sandwich.
And we'll get you out of here, all right? Have you ever been to a local wine? Have you ever been to a wine aisle at your local store just staring at the massive selection of wine with no idea which bottle to choose? Most of us go with the bottle that has the best looking label and hope it's going to be good. Well, the days of playing Russian roulette with your wine selections are over. Club W is here to save you. Club W is a revolutionary new wine club that takes the guesswork out of choosing your wine. They have a simple 6-question palate quiz that will match you with delicious, high-quality wine you're guaranteed to love. The best part is Club W will be shipped right to your door. No more going to the store, being lost in a wine aisle. Your friend calls you. You don't know what the hell you're doing. You don't even know why the hell you're there half the time. Try living my life. You understand me? So do me a favor, all right? Right now, Club W is offering listeners $20 off your first order when you go to clubw.com/Joey. And it gets even better. I know you all hate paying for shipping, so Club W will actually pay for your shipping on orders of 4 bottles or more. So take something off your to-do list. Just go to clubw.com clubw.com/Joey to get $20 off your first order right now. That's clubw.com/Joey. Listen, this is the future of wine. You want to sit in a grocery store or a liquor store, it's not going to work out for you no more. These guys got terrific wine, and like we said before, it gets delivered to your house. Nobody knows nothing, all right? So again, go to clubw.com/Joey and get $20 off your first order right now, all right? As usual on it, the best. From the Alpha Brain to the Hemp Force Protein to the Shroom Tech. I can't even talk about the wonders it's done for me. I love that little Hemp Force chocolate shake. But do yourself a favor. The Protein Hemp Force, delicious. Do yourself a favor. Go to onnit.com right now and take a look at the webpage. Read about it. On the supplement side, I'll get you 10% off, and that's what I'm trying to say to you. Whether you start with Alpha Brain, which you have 100% money back guarantee, or you want to try the Shroom Tech or the Shroom Tech Sport, let's try that route just to get it started. Maybe you want more endurance and jiu-jitsu. Do me a favor. Go to onnit.com/church. BAM! And get 10% off your next order delivered right to your fucking house. You understand me? I'm going to be in the Funny Bone Friday and Saturday. Nebraska, Omaha, Nebraska. And next 2 weeks from now, the 24th, I'll be in fucking Philadelphia, Jack, at Helium. So get your shit together. I want to thank Club W. I want to thank Blue Apron, delivering food right to your door. And I want to thank Onnit. And I want to thank Brody for coming on. And my main man, Syatt. And Becky, my little angel over there, barefoot, driving Brody crazy. He's looking at your toes, thinking of how he's going to bite into that motherfucker.
I have a foot fetish.
That's right. All right, stay black. I love you, cocksuckers.
How long was that? An hour and a half? 2 hours.
Who's counting?
That was good.